Alright, this is our third attempt at trying to set up a system that will automatically turn on the subwoofer, the Chromecast Ultra 64, some fans that go on top of my receiver to keep it cool, and the fourth thing is an auxiliary light that comes on when the home theater system comes on. So, first one was another smart strip from Tricklestar. You can see that in an earlier video. That worked for a while. And as I documented before, it stopped working. It wouldn't reliably turn on those other devices, so I switched to a Samsung SmartThings. And that worked for about a year, or maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years at this point. In any case, it stopped working, and I'll explain that later. And so now, this is my third attempt. This is another smart strip, quote unquote. We'll see how smart it is. This is from Bits Unlimited. And the way it works is you have one control outlet, so when power is drawn from this outlet, it'll turn on these green outlets. The red outlets are on all the time, and there's always power going to the blue outlet. And then you can adjust it, so when you plug your receiver into the blue outlet, it's going to draw some power because it's not completely off. But then when you turn it on, of course, it'll draw a lot more power because it's powering up its amplifiers and so forth. So you can set there's an adjustment, you can set a tolerance, so when it draws over so many amps of power, it'll turn on these other switches, other plugs rather. So it has a user adjustable threshold, like I said. Stop phantom power loss. So that means if you have things plugged in here, they won't draw any power unless you, like if you had a AC to DC, wall wart converter, they draw some power even if what you're using isn't plugged in. So that's the idea. So award-winning design has $30,000 of warranty protection because it's actually a surge protector. So I already have a surge protector. This will be plugging into the surge protector, so I'll have double protection. Okay, I don't really need it, but it's got a 4-foot power cord. You can draw up to 15 amps, which is good. And it's got a 1 nanosecond response time. Okay. Alright, so then on the back it shows you what you're getting. Controls 6 switched outlets, that's plenty for us. And it's got 3 hot outlets and of course the control outlet. And it's got some other information here. And it's made in China, of course, no surprise there. Okay. So let's open this up and we'll see what's inside the box. There's our power strip. Let's see what else is in there. Alright, so it's got a warranty card. It's got a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is nice. And it's got a 2-year warranty against manufacturer parts and defects. So that's actually pretty good for electronic equipment. So hopefully by 2 years it should either crap out or be working. So here's our surge protector. It talks about what is a smart strip, specifications again, warranty, and then how to install it and how to adjust it. That's important. So yeah, so we'll go over that when we're actually installing it. So let's take a look at this closer. Okay, so here's our control outlet. Now what's nice about this thing is that these plug covers can slide. So if you're not using some of these, you can slide this and it'll cover up the opening so you don't collect dust. So that's good. So any ones we're not using will just slide over. It's got an off button, okay, and then it's got a reset button. So it's in this position, it's on, and you can turn it off. So we're not going to be doing that. Over here is the adjustment. So we need a Phillips screwdriver to adjust the tolerance for how many amps this pulls to turn on these green ones. It's got a 4-foot cord, which is nice. That should be long enough. And it's got kind of a 45-degree angle plug, grounded plug, and nothing happening on the back here. We could mount it on the wall, but we're just going to put it flat in the cabinet. So, all right, so let's go ahead and install this, and we'll see if it works and solves our problem once and for all. All right, so here's our old setup. This is the SmartThings hub. They make you buy a hub, so you can connect smart devices like plugs to it. So it's now known as the dumb things hub because it stopped working. So it was in this cabinet, plugged in with a Ethernet wire to our switch, which is hardwired under the house back to our router. So that's how it got on the internet and our local network. And then we had a power strip, regular old power strip with the SmartThings. Oh, it's upside down, interesting. SmartThings plug, now known as the dumb things plug. And this was plugged in down here under our TV. So on this side, I have my main power distribution, which has surge protection, all that kind of good stuff. And then it comes over to this side, and this is where I plug in things that have to do with the TV that need to come on when when the receiver comes on. So there's our receiver. And when the receiver comes on, we want the subwoofer to come on, which is over here. Here's our subwoofer as a separate plug. We also have this auxiliary light that comes on. And then when we're watching TV, we want the Chromecast Ultra to turn on because it's off now. So the idea was we used our, and I showed this in earlier videos, I programmed our Logitech Elite universal remote. When I do use anything that uses the receiver, which is basically everything, I would also tell this smart switch to turn on, and then I had a three-way plug in it, so three things could be turned on. So I had the subwoofer turned on, the Chromecast turned on, and this auxiliary light turned on. Other things you want to be on all the time, like you want to have the TV on all the time because this LG TV goes through pixel fixing cycles when it's off, when it's quote-unquote off. All right, so that was our old setup. Let's see what the new setup is. All right, here's our new setup. So here's the Bit Smart strip, and this also has surge protection, so it's a double. I don't really need it, but so on this side we have the blue plug, which I showed you on the unboxing video. And the blue plug is the control plug. So that's the receiver is plugged into that. So receiver's up here. So when the receiver turns on, it'll engage power to the green plugs, which are only on when the main control is on. We also have some things plugged in all the time. So in the back there, we've got the TV plugged in, and we've got the Logitech base hub for our universal remote. Yeah, and also we have our charging station for remote. So those are on all the time, so we can charge up our universal remote. And then on the green side, that turns on when the receiver goes on. We have this is an extension cord which turns on the auxiliary light. This is the power AC-DC converter for the Chromecast Ultra 64, and on the back here we've got the plug for the subwoofer. So those three things go on when this control goes on. Now on this side, get this around here. On this side is the adjusting screw, which I showed you earlier. So hopefully we won't need to adjust that. The factory setting hopefully will be enough. So when the receiver is on now, if you look up here, see the little red light is on. So it's on in kind of a standby mode. So when you turn it on, push this button to turn it on, it actually goes into full power mode and starts drawing a lot of power. All right, so that now, since we did that, our other things should go on. So one other thing we've got hooked up to the extension cord, which I forgot to mention, are these PC fans I have up here on top that help the airflow. Because we're in a closed cabinet, I do have holes drilled in the back and down below, so air can flow out. But this pulls air up through the receiver where the amplifier is. There's some other kind of power, AC-DC power converter over here or something. So these are the power amplifiers on this side. So that just increases the airflow and makes this a happier receiver. So let's see if our other things turned on. All right, so our auxiliary light is on. That's this little Star Wars thing. And our subwoofer is on, the green light is on, and the Chromecast Ultra is on, so good. All right, so now we'll try with using the remote and make sure everything comes on with the remote. All right, so here's our remote. We have our different activities, so I'm going to do Chromecast. That's why we want to cast something like PBS app or Canopy, something like that, which doesn't have an app on the TV. Just press the Chromecast activity. So that's going to turn on the TV. It's going to turn on the receiver. And the receiver comes on, or other stuff should come on, like the Star Wars Millennium Falcon light and the subwoofer, and the Chromecast Ultra is on now. All right, so here we go. We're all set. Now, everything's working great. We didn't have to, like I said, we didn't have to adjust the Chromecast or adjust the smart strip to have a different power level to turn on. So the factory setting is fine. I didn't have to mess with that. Now for our activities, I mentioned earlier that each of these activities is programmed to turn on this smart plug. So I'll have to take those out. I don't need those anymore. But I'll do that later. Anyway, so so far the Bits smart strip is working great. It's actually much simpler than this system. You don't have to have these extra things. And this is replacing the Tricklestar, which I had on my original home theater upgrade. So this one is about 2.5 times as expensive as the Tricklestar, which they're still selling. But like I said, for me, after about a month, it stopped working. So this one hopefully will be working much longer until we upgrade our whole system again. Maybe even after that. Oh, one other thing we should test is when we turn it off, everything should go off. So let's turn it off. TV's off. Auxiliary light is off. Subwoofer's off, and the Chromecast Ultra is off. All right, so we're good to go. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is Beta Cygni signing out, and keep looking up.